Hey everyone, thank you for that. Jennifer, appreciate it. Excited to be here. Again, Martin Guerrero with Square. Block is our parent company, which is made up of a few different companies, Square, Cash App, Tidal, TBD, and Spiral. But today we're talking Square photo product photography. And so a lot of the work I do is working with entrepreneurial assistance centers throughout the country, helping folks either get online for the first time or help improve their e-commerce situation. And product photography is one of the major issues that folks tend to come across because you know you're starting a business or you had to get a website up and running really quick during COVID, and this to be able to sell online. You're not a product photographer. You started a business to open up a bakery, not to become a social media marketer or product photographer. But they're important, and we know product photos are very, very important to the success of an e-commerce website. So we do a lot of surveys with our customers, and just we know product photos are important, but we didn't realize just how important they were. And it makes a lot of sense when we go through that, right? And what's Square Online is our web platform, and our merchants found that 94% of their first orders came from a product that had good product photos versus just maybe a single photo. Those tended to have multiple photos and were usually their best photos. And over 75% of the e-commerce shoppers that we surveyed said that product photos were one of the most influential, or were very influential to their purchasing decision. Right, that was something that really steered them toward making a purchase, and that makes sense in the online world. In that, if somebody was to come in to purchase this odd shirt that's in the photo here, right? They come into your boutique, they see the shirt, they can touch it, feel it, put it on, right? They're seeing it obviously with their eyes, so they can, but there's other sensory things happening there. So it really helps them do that. But online, all they're seeing is that photo, right? So there's a lot of that other piece missing. So that photo really has to bring all the best qualities of the products that you're selling online into the very best light possible in order to have better conversion rates from your folks buying online. Because all they're using at that point is their eyes to make that buying decision. All right, so we'll talk about just some of the ways you can improve taking product photos if you're already doing that, or if you're new to it, right? How to do that. We'll do a demo here at the end. So Square does have a free photo product photography app that you can download. It's currently only available for iPhone, but eventually for Android as well. You don't have to download it if you don't want. I'm not here to sell you anything Square, but I'll be doing a demo with it because that's one of our products. So I know it inside and out. So many product photo apps are out there today. So you have a plethora of those to choose from that can take your product photo, remove the background, even add backgrounds. And then we'll see a demo of ours here towards the end. But as you're thinking about maybe taking new product photos, or maybe you have new inventory, new products that you want to sell, right? Preparation is going to be key. Too often I see folks just, oh, well, how did you do that? Well, I put them out and I just snapped a bunch of photos with my iPhone or my Android phone, whatever it might be, really without any preparation, right? So if you're selling clothing online, steaming those clothes, making sure they're wrinkle free before you take those photos, right? Really, really important. Again, you're wanting to make these look as best as possible to be able to make that buying decision solely based off of those photos. Wiping down items, with so they're free of any fingerprints, dust particles, jewelry, especially folks have, difficulty with that. But with some preparation, you can really take care of that. And then photographing food, right? Again, we eat with our eyes first. That food plate has to look very, very good in order for me to order it for pickup or delivery, from your restaurant. And then planning your setup. This can be very easy. It doesn't have to be very complicated. There are a ton of product photographers out there today. That's something that most photographers in general pivoted to during COVID to take, product photos, because they already know how to take the best photos possible of you, your family, right? School photos and whatnot. Super easy to take a photo for them, of something that's not moving around or wiggling around, in a chair, right? They have proper setup, white backgrounds, right? They've got the big closet they can put down, and that's usually going to be the best option for product photos, is that white background. And with the apps, you can then add backgrounds to them if you so like, if you so choose, or just the plain white to kind of not bring attention to anything but that product itself. Natural light tends to work best, especially in jewelry situations, to highlight your the details the best. But again, that's something you'll want to kind of consider when you're taking product photos. Is natural light the best source? Is a ring light, or a light box going to be better for that? Talking about creating a light source that's behind you while you're taking product photos, right? You want the light to illuminate it from the front to really make it sparkle there. And I kind of already talked about the white. It can be something as simple as a piece of white cardboard, or poster board to to add that white background. All right, so we'll talk about just some of the composition here. Let me check the chat. Feel free to add any questions in the chat as we go along. The presentation won't, it's not going to take too long. But so we have a lot of time for questions here. So Kevin, you mentioned SEO being enhanced for more hits with the photos. How does the photos that increase your SEO hits? So one of the tricks to product photography, you take if I take a picture with my phone, upload it, it's got a file name there, and it's got some really long string name .jpeg or whatever that might be. For SEO, you can rename your photos, right? So if it's red t-shirt, right? It's a red t-shirt.jpg or PNG or whatever that might be, because when the the spider bots scan your website for SEO, those robots can't see what that photo is if it's not labeled. So labeling those photos is going to help with the SEO. Also, there's on most platforms you can add alt text to photos to it's basically a description of the photo. Folks on your website won't see that alt text, but the spiders that Google and Yahoo and Bing send to your website to scan it will be able to read that and know that, oh, it's a red t-shirt or brand t-shirt or whatever that might be. Lets them know that that's what's on the website. So if somebody's searching for that specific product, it's going to take them to that specific image, and again, it's going to help with your overall search engine optimization, is what SEO stands for. Good question, Kevin. All right, yeah, there's all those little things that kind of bring it all together. All right, so talking about composition, and really what product composition is, the way you're setting up your photos to be taken. This is probably the most common one, front facing at eye level, right? You're just taking a picture of it from the front here in the example of the glasses here. Most common, easiest way to take a picture of a product. 3/4 angle, here we have those same glasses. Now we're getting a little different reflection on the lenses, and now we can see more of the actual arms on those glasses as well. And then this is something you'll want to use together, right? So if you have your product, you're going to use this one as the primary image, and then you can add, most platforms you'll be able to add multiple images, and so you can add the different angles, so folks can really kind of see and get a kind of a feel just with their eyes what that product really looks like. Lay flat, shot from above. This works really well for clothes, like in the example of the sweatshirt here, right? Laying out on a flat table. Maybe you're up on a chair or a stool and you're taking a photo from the top. This also works very well for food photos, or for plates, right? From up above, so you can get the whole plate. There's no kind of weird angle. You're taking that photo, right? You're up from above and you're taking it like this, so you can get the whole thing in the picture there. That's a really common one for food images, to get great pictures of the plates themselves. Close-up shots, right? Really important. Again, you're using these photos to really convey what this product is made of, what it could feel like, the details. This is a bag example here. The primary ones kind of probably be from the front, closed, so you can kind of see what kind of bag it is. But here you have, the inside of it, so you can see what it's lined with. There's an extra pocket inside. That's probably all in your product description as well, right? Leather bag, handmade, custom stitching, inside pocket, like that's what you're describing it. But then again, you're showing it as well with those photos. So not only talking about it, but showing what it is as well. Jewelry is going to be a prime example of close-up shots, right? A bracelet, for example, right? You're showing the whole thing, but then showing up those really close, detailed shots to then see the detail. Maybe you have some really fine detail in between the the links or whatnot, and you want to showcase those, right? That's what those close-up shots are going to be really, really good for. Here we have an example of a group shot, right? This is a really good one showcasing kind of, what, this group of pots and pans that you're selling, kind of how they relate to each other in size to give you that better understanding of what that is. And then you have, the ones without a lid on them, that the contrast with the all silver with the black there to give it a really, really nice look there. And again, that can be for multiple products of kind of the same. Maybe they're different, maybe in the other case it's candles, and they're different sizes, right? To kind of showcase what those look like in comparison to each other. All right, product labels is a really important one here. So if you have products with labels on them, similar to this coffee bag here, right? That straight shot is going to be the best here. And if you're printing product labels yourself, making sure they're really high quality. I mean, it makes a ton of difference. We see that in comparing websites to each other with blurry photos or product labels that you can't read, you can't zoom in on. Right? Even if you zoom in on them, they're really blurry. So making sure those labels that you're putting on your product are clear and can they'll stand up to some zoom. Most website platforms allow for you to click a photo and kind of zoom into it, especially like in the coffee bag here. Maybe someone wants to zoom in and read all the ingredients in there, or whatever you have in there, to make sure there's no additional additives or anything like that. So really, really vital. Again, you're really just trying to put your best foot forward, your product's best foot forward, so they folks can see and make that decision themselves without you being there, right? So they come into my coffee shop. I've got the coffee bags there. Someone grabs one. Oh, hey, it looks like you've got our vehicle coffee bag. It's the mushroom coffee made with this specific mushroom, right? I have an open bag here if you want to smell it. Maybe even taste one, whatever you want to do with that, right? That's a whole different experience with that same product than if I go to your website or your Instagram or whatever that may be, wherever you have these products, marketed, and just having to make that decision just off of the bags there. All right, so for the most part, and we call this, the Amazon effect. You go to Amazon.com, you buy products there, right? It's all on a white background. Either they're taken on a white background, or the product is cut out and put on a white background. And that's probably the most common type of background you'll see out there for e-commerce. But don't be afraid to use colored backgrounds, or even stylized photos, or maybe even some textured backgrounds for your social media channels, like like your Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or TikTok, whatever you use in that. For Pinterest is a great one, obviously, for photos there. Especially if it's part of your overall brand, it makes a whole lot of sense to do that. There's a Nike shoe here, for example. I did a class the other day, and we went to the Nike.com site on the phone, and it's very plain. Their shoe there is on that kind of grayish background, really light background, but like the names are in their bright Nike red. That everything else is really muted white except for that light gray background on the photos. But then their main brand color, that Nike red, is what stands out on the website on mobile. Because on mobile, I mean, your site is going to be as simplified as possible because you have less real estate on a phone screen to do that. So it's got to be simple and clean. All right. Most important here is making sure that you have a consistent style for your product images to really give it that consistent look and feel, that cohesive look and feel all across. You have, the bottle shop here, right? Obviously, bottles are different sizes a little bit, but some thinner, some wider, some a little bit taller, some shorter. But you can see, right, they've got that front-facing photo on all of them there. Now, you can click into one of these bottles and see, the back label, maybe sideways, the cork, whatever, whatever other view you want to give them, you can add that. But seeing that consistency, you can scroll through and kind of pick and choose versus just a close-up shot here or a distance shot here, and just really kind of disorienting your customer when they're on the website. Use all those other photos as the secondary ones when they click into an item there, to give them more detail. All right, so I'm gonna go into, unless we have any questions here I can answer right now, I'm gonna do a little demo of the app. What Software 360 photo sticking? Not sure, Kevin, what you mean by that. What Software 360? If you want to get off mute, that'd be fine too.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Good.
What I was trying to say is, do you do any 360 product photography where you're able to scroll around the item?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a real good question. So, Square Photo Studio actually. So Square has the online, the Square online store that started as Weebly.com. They purchased Weebly in 2018, and Weebly had a photo studio in our Brooklyn office, and we have the robot, that just spins around and does a 360 there. And it actually that didn't work out too well because people had to mail us those products, to be able to do that, and then we had to mail them back. And then we ended up buying this gentleman's app that he created for product photos, and now that's essentially our photo studio. That is a pretty popular one out there. I know a lot of like technical assistance centers and things like that have those photo robots. You put it in a box and you put it on a little platform, and then it's got an arm that with the camera on it spins around and it takes a photo. So that way when you can put those photos online, people can click on it and spin the product around and see everything there. Really, really, good photos for that, especially if you want to showcase a lot of detail. But that's pretty specialized now. I mean, we don't do that anymore, just because, again, the shipping and all of that, and the fact that so many more people are doing that out there, and those photo robots have become less expensive. So a lot more people out there doing that. All right. So whether you're using natural light or your own photos, or this, you got the unicorn piñata here that we're taking pictures of. My biggest takeaway is, take a lot of photos and just figure out what's going to work best, how your product, I mean, your product the best. Spend some time doing that, whether it's outside, inside, with lights, whatever that might be. You can do that. Obviously you can use camera. I'm just using the phone camera here, which essentially replace the pocket digital cameras we used to carry around all the time. But really just, get into it and take as many photos as you can to do that. Let me share a different screen here, and we will do a quick demo. All right. Are y'all seeing my phone screen?
Yes.
Yes, cool. All right. So we've got the Square Photo Studio app here. And what we're going to do is take a picture of Lego Martine here. We've got Lego Martine. We're going to center him here. It's just on the counter. Take a quick pic. And so the app will then remove the background here in a second. And so just like that, right? We've got that Lego Martine that we can refine the background on, or we can save it and now go into adding a background to it. So we can see we can add different colored backgrounds here, just the basic one. I'm going to skip over that beta one in just a second. You can see we've got different color options you can use. You can edit it and change the colors. You can see we added some shadow to it as well, some natural light shadow. Even here, you can see that, just some standard options that you can go in here and do. You can change, but you can always go in here and edit it. Background, color. And you can add your own hex code in there to, if you want to use your exact brand color. So really simple, really easy to do. And we can kind of rotate this guy around a little bit here if we wanted to. You can change the position around. And we can do the different sizes here for those photos. So let me go back. I'm not going to save that. You probably, if you're like me, you're probably hearing a lot of talk about AI out there, right? And what AI is going to do for people. We do have a beta in here right now with for AI background photos. So if we click on that and we go next, we've got our product photo, and you can see we've already got a bunch of different options in here. So if we wanted to put Lego Martine in the jungle, we just click jungle. That'll generate a background for us, and we'll see what that looks like here in just a second. And there's Lego Martine in the jungle now, right? So we have different. It's got looks like a Venus flytrap maybe eating his head. But yeah, different jungle options that it's given us just like that. So we could save this photo, and then either if you're using Square to sell in person or online or both, you can add that to your items and sell it from there. Or you could actually, if you're not online yet and you're selling, this is obviously the Lego Martine is a one-of-a-kind item, and someone's going to buy it from me. I'm going to save this here. And so now I can add it to my Square store, or I can sell it right now, or I can just save the photo, right? You don't have to have a Square account to use this. I could just save this to my photos and use it wherever I want. It doesn't have to do anything with Square if you don't want it to. But I could sell it now. I could go in here and Lego Martine, sell them for $10. I can add a description here if I want to. But in just like that, right, I can take a picture. I can post it on my social media. Someone says, hey, I want to buy that Lego Martine in the jungle screen there. Cool, let me send you this link. You can make payment and I'll get it to you. Either if you're local, you can pick it up, or I can ship it to you, right? I can just share that link with them. If they, DM me on Instagram, I can sell them that right then and there. Makes it, they make payment online through a secure Square checkout page, and it's done. You don't have to worry about, getting, Venmo'd or Cash Apped or anything like that. And it's all secured. It's all in your Square account. All your data is in there as well. But again, that's if you want to sell those. If not, again, you can just use the product photo to do whatever you want. Let me go next here. So you can see, I'm gonna go back here. You do that again. Could you add a watermark? You could. It would be outside of the program here. Let's see here. Yeah, you're not able to do that through here. Yeah, like you're not able to add text or anything here, at least not yet. Yeah, no. So you would have to save the photo and then add it to a program to add a watermark, if you wanted to do that. But again, here you can go in here, go back here, edit. So again, we could change the background color to whatever we want it to be from there. Or again, we have the AI and beta there that, you've got, we just keep adding more and more here. Again, you can add it to any background there so you don't have to worry about what your background looks like. Let's do a countertop. Since we actually took it on a countertop here, I want to see what that looks like. So cool, yeah, there he is on a countertop, right? A couple different gradient options there. You can see natural shadow added there, makes it look like that's where the product was taken. So yeah, that's the Square Photo Studio app. Again, it's free to download, free to use. You don't have to use Square with it if you don't want to, but if you use a Square, it makes it really easy to add to your items and to sell through your social. If you're using Square Online, you can add them to your Instagram, Facebook shop in order to to sell those through a post. But I think that's all I have in the presentation here. Let me go back here. I think I closed it. I closed the. Okay, so that was the end of the slides there. But again, happy to answer any questions you might have, any other questions you might have in relation to taking product photos.
Everybody has the ability to talk, so if you guys want to unmute and ask questions, we can do that. Have like a table talk with any questions that you guys have.
I see Mary has a question, so feel free.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. My question is that for business, I often accept payment for tutoring services.
Mhm.
So I used to use what was a device, a small device that would hook up, plug into my phone, and that
Right.
would allow me to swipe cards.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering, or I'm asking, how is this a related product? And if yes, how so? Or is this a different new type of Square?
So it is related, right? So you still have the the Square app, and I'll actually bring that up here. So to your question there, so you can see I have the Square point of sale and the Square Photo Studio. The Photo
Yeah.
Studio is in conjunction to, right? So you have the point of sale here. Can you guys see my phone screen right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right, you would be in here, you would be selling, right? So this is my my demo site. This is my bike shop, right? So I have, I'm gonna add a bike to the cart here, charge it, and you can swipe it. Now, bring up a really good point as far as the swiper, right? You're probably talking about the little white reader like that, right? That used to,
Exactly. Yes.
this is being phased out, just because Magstripe isn't as secure as tap and chip payments are.
Mm.
But you can see here on the screen, tap to pay on iPhone, right? So you don't even need that little reader anymore. You can just click tap to pay on iPhone. It actually won't show on that screen there, but you'll be able to see it on my phone here.
Mm-hmm.
Someone can just add their card, right? Touch their card, their tap card, right to the phone and pay that way. Or if they have their phone with Apple Pay, Google Pay, anything like that, they can just tap their phone to that as well and pay from there. So that actually removes the need for that. But
Wow.
like I think I maybe have one here. So yeah, here's the Lego Martine that I added. All right. And so now I can sell him through here, right? I can sell, it was $10. Now I can sell him right through here as well. If you're doing like classes or things like that, you can also do like invoices
Yeah.
through here. So let me take this out. There's a lot of different ways you can actually charge. But so like for the bike here, I could charge it. I have invoice here, right? And I can send them an invoice. I can do, 50% down and 50% when they come and pick up the bike, for that. So if you're doing like services, things like that, invoices might be a good option for you.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks. Let me scroll through. I didn't know if I saw any other hands up. Yeah, if you have a question.
Would you know offhand what kind of payments are how much they're taking out per transaction, or is it you buy it in bulk, or is it per transaction?
Through Square?
Yeah, the fee.
It would be per transaction. So you can download the app for free. You can sign up for Square for free, and you would only pay per transaction. So per transaction, it's 2.6% plus 10 cents per transaction.
6, 10 cents. Okay.
10 cents. And actually, if you're still looking at my phone screen here, I did a demo, I think maybe yesterday. If you click into here to your transactions, you'll be able to see all of that. And see, I made this dollar payment here, card present, Visa, $1 tapped, right? 2.6 plus 10%. So total sale was $1, total fees 13 cents, and I got 87 cents deposited into my account. So you'll see that on every single transaction. I did one for 25 bucks. You know, that's more of a standard order size. It was like 75 cents, right? So on a $25 order, I got $24.24 deposited into my account. Now, you know, we definitely want you to know what that is, just because, you know, it's a cost of doing business, right? So whether you have to look at what your you know, if your products, if you have a really small, you know, profit margin, maybe it's, you know, buying from a different, you know, vendor, or, you know, raising your prices, or, you know, whatever that might be, to kind of, you know, to make sure that's in there. Credit card fees are a business expense, so that's something you can actually even include on your business taxes at the end of the year. Yes, Mary.
Hi, thank you. My question is about when you say tap, because I understood what you were talking up until invoice, and I agree, thank you. But when you say tap to pay, are you physically in the same space as that person? They're using like phone to phone, physically tapping to pay?
They would get their card and they would just tap it right on the phone.
Okay, so you guys are in the same room physically.
In a tap to pay situation, yes. On an invoice, no. The invoice would send that electronically via text message or email. They would pay it online. Now, like in that case of the bike, right? It's, you know, 500 bucks. I could have them pay, you know, 250 up front, and the other 250 when they come to pick it up. They would pay that first 250 online. The other 250 they could come into the store and they can do they can do tap to pay for the rest of it there, or they can pay it, you know, in advance online. So there's a lot of ways you can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? If not, you guys will get some time back.
This is very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I do have a question because I'm trying to locate the app in my storefront. What's the actual name? Thank you.
So yeah, you'd go to the App Store and it's Photo Studio.
I think it's Photo Studio by Square.
Yeah, Photo Studio by Square.
Thank
Right there.
you.
Yep. Yeah, and then as you're using it, like in my account where I was able to sell that, you know, I signed into my Square account. You can connect, and then it'll just add it to your Square account if you want to.
This is a major update AI environments. Is that still in beta or is that live?
That was the beta that I was showing earlier. It launched not very too long ago, and I mean they're already, it's leaps and bounds, changing every day how much better it gets.
It's scary stuff.
Yeah. Cool stuff, but yeah, in certain aspects it can be scary as well. Jennifer, if we don't have any more questions, we're good.
Alrighty, so I want to thank everybody for signing on tonight. You will find this video recording on our YouTube. If you want to get back to it, it is also on our Facebook. And if you come up with any questions later on, you can always send me an email and I'll put that in the chat real quick.
Yeah, if someone has a question earlier that I can help with, feel free to reach out, Jennifer.
Definitely will. And I want to thank you so much, Martin, for all of your time tonight.
Yeah, no worries. Glad to be here. Sorry about last time.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.